So Hare Krishna, welcome to the second part of our seminar on how to choose our reaction in disturbing and challenging situations in life. And let us review what we have done in the first part. So, what do you remember?
We have the choice. We can actually choose our reaction. There's that space between action and reaction.
Yes, we have a power to choose. And how do we develop this?
Okay.
Can you stop this, please?
The test of the theory.
If I use my reaction, it may be dangerous. If I let my simcha side. So, I mean, just awareness of this, that we have this power within us to choose how we will react in any situation. This is like a big step forward in personal development, even in spiritual advancement. And in the Shastra, it's described as control the mind, control the senses. So if you speak about internal reaction, that's about controlling the mind. If something happens, how do you react? Like Haridas Thakur, they beat him up, and he was not disturbed at all. He was praying for them. He said, they are disturbed. They are so disturbed. So he pretended he's dead, so that they are not so disturbed. So, I mean, we have amazing, Jesus Christ also, have amazing reactions in extremely difficult situations. People who are, praying for their tormentors. And this is high consciousness, very high consciousness. We cannot imitate Prahlad Maharaj, If somebody wants to throw you into boiling oil, you cannot just say Jai. Like Prahlad Maharaj was thrown and so many things. But still we can choose better reaction that we are usually doing, usually applying. What else we have discussed? Anybody remembers?
We have two different paths, and then there is a way to change lanes.
Yes, switching lane. You can go from the judger path to the learner path, or from the mode of passion and ignorance to the mode of goodness by switching.
It's also a bit like you have a demon or the angel on one
Yes,
side.
yeah, yes.
It's telling you this,
Yeah.
and that. Oh, yeah.
You can see it like this. I mean, like modern teachers, they say, just be yourself. And I ask them, which self? There is two guys in me, bad guy and the good guy. So which one do you want me to be? Which one you advise me to? Just be yourself. First, you have to know what is the self. And then what is the false self? What is the true self? Then you can choose to be yourself. And we will soon do a podcast with Keshava Madhava Prabhu and Bhakti Sanya about self-help concepts. They are experienced in coaching, and we want to unpack, because devotees also get confused with these concepts, different concepts. They don't always understand how this relates to the Shastra. They see it's something good, but they're not sure if it's bona fide, it's misleading. So we want to try to clarify these things, like what is what in all these teachings, different teachings that people are today offering in different courses and books and audio programs and videos. So we looked at the choice map, and we have these different paths. What else we discussed?
We need to practice, because you gave us 108 times to fail.
Yeah.
Because
So practice.
we can make it perfect, right?
Right, practice is the greatest secret of success. Daily practice. Daily investment also. Like if you want to build a relationship, you invest in the relationship every single day for years. Then you can have a strong relationship, high trust. You can have high trust. You do things that build trust, and you avoid things that diminish trust if you want to have high quality relationships. Anything else? Anything else you remember? Spezi parezi. So think before you drink, or think before you say something, think before you do something. Be the same in public as you are when no one is looking. That's very difficult. Because, why? Because Krishna is watching. Krishna is watching you all the time, so you want to perform nicely. So we spoke about breathing. You can breathe, take a deep breath and say Maha Mantra a few times. That helps to break this, something that is coming, some negative emotion or anger or some reaction that you will regret later. You want to stop it early. Anything else you remember?
We cannot be depressed if we stand up and chant Maha Mantra.
Yes. Yeah. Also, if you change your bodily posture, it's difficult to feel bad about anything. If you walk like this, how can you be depressed if you walk like this? Have you seen anybody being depressed walking like this? So if you change, if you raise your arms. I sometimes advise grihastas, when you are just about to quarrel, raise your arms, and if you start to fight, it will be funny. I think you will laugh. That why we are fighting.
Laughter yoga, the laughter, they do it in the park sometimes, like people start laughing and laughter.
Are you married?
No, I'm perfect.
Well, then okay. So. Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita an introspective sage. So, introspective sage is a person who is peaceful, who can choose your reaction. And I published today one thought on Facebook that shallow thinking leads to poor decisions. So one of the decisions that we make is how we react. Choosing our reaction is a decision. I'm now choosing to react like this. So we have to, at least I want to do this with myself, that stop shallow thinking. To me, this is my greatest frustration. When I catch myself thinking superficially, like it's not deep enough, it's not intelligent enough, then I think this is a big loss. And usually disturbing situation blocks our best thinking. So what is your best thinking? So this is what I'm also doing with people. I actually try to facilitate deeper and higher quality thinking. I try to facilitate by listening. By listening, and by inducing people to speak more, to think more deeply, to open up what they're thinking, and to access their best intelligence and their best thinking. You can also write things down, think on paper. That's a very powerful way to develop high quality thinking, writing things down. So if you want to develop a power of intelligent reaction, spiritual reaction, a high quality reaction, then we need to develop this deeper thinking. If we can stop and think more deeply, okay, what's happening here? What Krishna wants me to do? What will be the best thing to do? What is my conscience telling me? What is my heart telling me? Then we can be more pleased. Of course, reaction is also important in situations when we are tempted, for example, to eat too much, to sleep too much, to do anything too much or too little. This is also a situation where we need to choose. Say no to something that is maybe pleasurable, but it will bring some consequences that are not good. So there are many situations where we can apply this choosing our reaction. And before we start to do some exercises, I would like to give two more specific questions that we can ask ourselves when we face something. How do I see this? How do I see? With what kind of eyes I see it? So some people say, see everything with eyes of love. Then your reaction will be different. If you can see everything with the eyes of love, or if you can see everything with the eyes of Shastra Chakshu, Shastra Gyana Chakshusha, if you can see everything through the eyes of the saints and the sages throughout the ages, then you can have a better reaction to any situation. I call sometimes this Gita glasses. You can see everything through the Gita, and then you will see differently. So how do we see things? How do we perceive things? We perceive things as a servant. We want to see everything as a servant. Prabhupada says devotee is never disturbed. Where we can see this, the devotee is never disturbed. But ideally speaking, we can be disturbed if somebody is offending devotees, if somebody is, blaspheming Krishna. We should be disturbed with that. But if we don't get sense gratification, if we don't get material facility, if we don't get this or that, we shouldn't be disturbed. So devotee is not disturbed by not getting anything material. That is the understanding. That is the point. Regarding one general observation is that we are disturbed, or people are disturbed, maybe you are not, but people are disturbed because they don't get something. But I think that we are disturbed, people are disturbed because they don't get enough of things that they want. But I think people are disturbed because they don't give enough. Our nature is service and giving, and we are actually disturbed because we don't give enough, not because we don't get enough. Of course, some people are disturbed because they give too much, or they give of themselves, or somebody is exploiting them. This is also not good. So our duty is to have a balance in our lives of giving and taking, of recreation. Bhagavad Gita says this, of recreation and work. And it's interesting that Krishna calls rest recreation. What a recreation means? It means you recreate yourself, you renew your energy. So it's active rest. How we can say active and odmor? Active relaxing, or something where you will renew your energy. Of course, simply by sleeping you can renew your energy. It's very inactive activity. But if you, sit and relax, you can read, for example, and physically you are not active. You are saving your energy physically, but you are active with your mind and focusing on the Shastra, and get double renewal. One is physical because you are resting, and another is intellectual, mental, and spiritual because you are reading the Shastra. But self-renewal is very important. If you have good self-renewal, like some people have experience, if I'm nervous, then I can get easily irritated. If I'm tired, I can get easily irritated. I know my father, when he comes back tired from his work, after he comes for maybe 1-2 hours until he eats, he is quite irritable. But after that he becomes very normal and peaceful. So we need to be rested, we need to be in good shape in order to be able to choose good reaction in different situations. Do you have any questions about these points, or anything from the first part?
It says in, I think Srimad Bhagavatam 3, Canto 3, 26-30, that sleep is a characteristic of intelligence. Like it lists a few things that are characteristics of intelligence. Like
Sleep.
Sleep is a characteristic of intelligence. It's one of the characteristics of it. It's 3, 26-30. Bhagavatam. So, because without sufficient sleep, the brain cannot function, and you
Yes.
cannot do your service. So it's
Yes.
actually listed in
Yeah, we need that.
chapter
So if you make yourself strong in all areas, physical, intellectual, emotional, mental, then you can have power to make right choices, to choose, to actually react as a sadhu, react as a saintly person, react as a devotee in different situations. Okay, so now we have 2, 4, 6, 8 with me. We want to do a little exercise in pairs where you please think about a challenging situation or disturbing situation that you faced and that you reacted in a way that you didn't like, and then you can discuss with your partner with whom you are discussing.
We need to go soon. Sorry, I cannot
Okay.
in pairs play.
Okay,
Yeah.
then we have 3 pairs.
Okay.
Yeah, and so how you could have reacted based on our discussion today? How you could have reacted better? Let us do that now. I will stop this recording now. U redu. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.